Hello Matt, hello Frankie, and welcome to the Punters Guide from Hong Kong, from somewhere in Cheshire or Salford or somewhere, wherever Matt lives nowadays, and here in Lapland. Last week we got a decent forecast up that paid about 20 to 1. What else did we get? Oh, the Venetia horse at 9 to 1 and a couple of short price winners as well. We won't mention the losers. What have I got for you today? You'll find out in a bit. Right, Matt.
Well, thank you, Joel. Yeah, a very different start to this week's Punters Guide. As you can see, he is a land afar over in Lapland, treating his kids, no doubt. Well, Frankie's completely over the other side. He is in Hong Kong. So obviously we're not live this week. It is very different, but we're still trying to trivia plenty of winners at Sandown and Aintree. Fingers crossed the weather plays ball as well this week. So Joel is living it up in Lapland, Frankie over in Hong Kong. Loads of best bets to come. And we're going to start with back to Joel over in cold Finland. Looking forward to the 115 at Sandown, where I believe this may well be his best bet of the day.
100% going for the tracker horse, which was last seen out in April. I think it came fourth at Taunton. Jockey was pulled in and said his mount was hanging. I thought he could have done a little bit better, but it's not the time to catch him. November and December, if you're back in blind, you'll be in one hell of a profit. We are going for Operation Manor to win. It's about 7 or 8 to 1 at time of recording here in Lapland. And Tom Lacey, go for it.
Hey from Hong Kong, lads. Shame we can't all be on live together, but hopefully we can find a couple of winners across the great cards that are Sandown and Aintree. The 115 now like party business each way. Ian William trains. I mean, this horse has come right down the weights. He was once rated, I think, 140, now races off of 122. His mark's obviously been falling for a reason. He hasn't been performing as you'd like him to, but if you do separate his form from the kind of 2.5 miles to the 3 mile races and on soft ground, which he does get on Saturday, I think there is a case to be made for him each way, and he had a decent enough run last time out. So party business for Ian Williams for me in the 115 at Sandown.
Cheers, gents. Let's look at the 150 then. And of course, those regular followers will know this is the Budgie Smuggler horse, Load of Sud, where Frankie got the lowdown with Sir Alex Ferguson and Jed Mason on the beach in Bahrain last year. And I guess the boys may be with him, or is Joel taking him on?
The Sun Lounger horse, Load of Sud, no doubt will be Frankie's best bet of the weekend. Can either of you explain to me Paul Nicholls going into deep water with Rubo at around 7 or 8 to 1. He must know something. I don't know if you get in the background, the Huskies are barking. They must be barking like the stable lads and lasses, and the stable itself barking, because he must know something. First time in public over fences for Rubo. Right, come on, let's have it. He knows something. 7 or 8 to 1. It's worth a punt, isn't it?
In the Henry VIII Chase, I think you've got to stick with Load of Sud, haven't you? We've all been massive fans of him. He's showed so much class since switching to fences. And from watching him, maybe you would say, oh, he looks like a good ground horse. He's really classy, he's quite quick. Maybe soft ground might blunt his chances. But remember, at the Cheltenham Festival on that horrible ground, he went through it really nicely and almost won at the festival. So I don't think the ground's going to be a problem. I think his class will shine through once again, and I think we're looking at a real Cheltenham Festival contender once again. So I'm sticking with Load of Sud.
Looking at this 2 mile handicap hurdle then, and one of Joel's old favourites is in here, Knickerbocker Glory. Maybe sinking a few of them in Lapland, but is he putting him up to win this afternoon?
I reckon Joel might be in agreement. Knickerbocker Glory. He did me last year. He backed Knickerbocker Glory, I backed Altobelli. They both race against each other this time. And I think you've got to side with the Skeltons again, haven't you? He's only £2 up for what he won that race at Ascot last season. He ran well enough in all of the big handicaps. And as we've been saying on the show, it does come down to the trainer for me. If you're looking at how horses are progressing at the Skelton Yard, to see a horse that has won a handicap similar to this last season only be racing off £2 higher, you'd like to think they've got much more improvement than that out of him. So Knickerbocker Glory for me. Hopefully I side with the right one this year and Altobelli doesn't do me the other way around. I think he's got a great chance, Knickerbocker Glory.
I'm putting up Knickerbocker Glory once again. We put it up as the best bet of the weekend last November at Ascot when Maydall and Tristan Durrell claiming the 3. I prefer Tristan to be on today, but nobody's getting Harry Skelton off of that horse because he's obsessed with winning that £500,000 to one 5 jockeys who actually cares about this. Knickerbocker Glory, 2 may call at around 6 to 1 is one of the strong bets of the weekend.
The big race of the weekend is, of course, the Grade 1 Tingle Creek. Blinking, you'll miss him here over the 2 miles at Sandown. And John Bon looks to make history. He's back to retain his trophy. He's beaten most of these before, gents. Can he do the same again? Who do we fancy?
Can I be honest? Is John Bon the most boring horse in training. I don't know why he gets so much stick. He's only been beaten by 3 horses. One of those being Constitution Hill, El Fabiola, and also a great ride on Alexia the Nuts as well. Look, John Bon wins this. He's beaten pretty much everything in the field 17 times over. I really like JPR1 in this, probably for the forecast, or if Nicky pulls out John Bon. So John Bon to beat JPR1. I love this horse. Massive price at around 14 or 16 to 1. There is your big forecast for the weekend.
John Bon, John Bon, John Bon. It's all about John Bon. I actually, am I allowed to say he's a good price? I thought it'd be shorter. This is his game, isn't it? If anyone is trying to take him on, I think you are not brave. I think you're almost deluded. This is John Bon's race to go and win. He's the best we've got in the division, this side of the Irish Sea. And if anything, he's only going to be better than what he was last year. So John Bon is the cert of the weekend. I know he's short enough, but yeah, he goes and wins.
The final race at Sandown this afternoon is the London National, longest race of the day, over an extended 3.5 miles. We talked about the cross country recently at Cheltenham at length about what happened. Of course, Tommy Bowe cocked his jaw there allegedly, and he is back for more. He's got top weight to carry. Is this what we're looking for, Joel?
We really have fluked a few forecasts recently, and the one last month at the cross country at Cheltenham was won by the French horse Sweet David under Felix de Giles, taking care of Mr. Coffey, who was surprisingly back in second once again. However, it could have been a different story for Seamus Mullin's horse, Tommy Bowe, who was absolutely smashed off the boards into 100 to 30. The horse ran out. The steward said it wasn't jockey error. However, Michael Nolan has been replaced by James Best for this race. He's got his sat-nav, and we're going for Tommy Bowe to get the money back at around 8 to 1.
Last race at Sandown, and once again, we're talking handicaps. We're talking the Skeltons. Ballygriffin Cottage has been on my list for a while. He did fall at Cheltenham early on last time out, which isn't ideal, and you know, hopefully he's still got his confidence. But similarly, he's a horse that on his day can put in a real good showing. He was second at Sandown last year, and himself and Rose of Arcadia in this went relatively clear of third place. I don't think that's a bad bit of form. I reckon this could have been the target. They probably would have wanted to, well, they obviously would have wanted to complete at Cheltenham last time out. But if a bit of money comes from Ballygriffin Cottage, I'd be well on board. The only thing I'm hesitant to do is back him yet, because at Cheltenham he was a big drifter. So if he's supported, he can definitely win this race.
Well, so just about Sandown, of course, the action is on Merseyside as well. So let's look ahead to their first race in front of the ITV cameras. Is the 132. We'll go back to Joel in Lapland.
I'm going for Dr. TJ Eckelberg to win this. Should have been top class horse, didn't exactly make it. Won last time out at 14 to 1 at Haydock. Evan Williams had a couple of winners in the week, including a well-backed horse with Izzy on board. Dr. TJ Eckelberg to win this race at half those odds this weekend at around 7 or 8 to 1. Good luck, Dr. TJ Eckelberg.
132 at Aintree, and No Risk Day Flow gets my vote. Only carries 10 stone 9, which I think could be crucial on the soft ground. We talk about that race at Sandown with Rose of Arcadia and Ballygriffin Cottage. Well, No Risk Day Flow was in third that day, but what I'm more interested in is his run behind Lodesud last time out. Now, I know Lodesud won in a canter and he won easily, but No Risk Day Flow is still streets clear of third, and I don't actually think he ran that bad behind a horse that can jump really well and set a strong pace and quicken away from his fences. So I think he should probably have a little bit of a higher rating to his name and be carrying more weight than he is in this handicap. Ollie Murphy and Sean Bowen, a strong team when they're on one, that's well handicapped with a good chance.
The big Grand National fences are in action, of course, at Aintree as well this afternoon. In the Beecher Chase, 3.25 mile. It could be quite testing, especially in the strong wind and the soft ground this afternoon. Plenty of old favourites who've been here and done it on plenty of times before. And I think Joel may fancy one that he put up in this race and got placed last year, Joel.
I'm pushing up the same horse as I did last year. Put up at 40 to 1. Was backed into around 18 or 20 to 1. Took it up 3 out. And brilliant ride from Lucy Turner, claiming. And she's on it again. Venetia Williams is on about 38% strike rate. And when Venetia's in form, you go with her. I think it's just exactly copy and paste from last year. At a slightly shorter price at around 14 or 16 to 1. This time, we're going to go for Chambard for Venetia Williams and Lucy Turner to do it again this year.
The Beecher, that's the one that the punters like to try and find a winner of anyway. King Turgeon is on a nice little win streak, and obviously has been running well here. He's the fav. Am I going for him, lads? Am I going for the fav? No, I'm not. I do think he's obviously got a great chance, a favourite's chance, but I like Cruise Control. I think he represents a bit of a better each way bet. Another horse that's won at Aintree before, over 3 miles. And I like the fact that he's had a little prep run over hurdles to protect that chase mark coming back for this season. You'd hope that he's developed, coming back to a track he likes. I'd say this has been the plan for a long time. And Stan Shepherd's rode a couple of winners this week. He'll be in high spirits, and I think he could be a winner of the Beecher.
The final race at Aintree is at 3:17. It's a 2.5 mile handicap hurdle. Let's get your thoughts on this one, please, gents.
I'm putting up Uncle Bert in this race for the Twisties, Nigel and Sam Twiston Davis. Is he still top of the jockeys table for that 500 grand, Sam Twiston Davis? If not, he's close. He might be getting a squeaky bum, even though there's a few months to go. Uncle Bert got beat exactly a month ago at Aintree, 19 lengths, by a good thing of Rebecca Curtis. There is nothing of that standard in this race. I think it'll be given a brilliant ride by Sam, as always. So Uncle Bert, for me, it's a strong one this weekend.
The lucky last at Aintree, and my nod goes to Uncle Bert for the Twistons. Sammy Twiston in a driving finish on soft ground at Aintree. I can see it now already. It didn't work out for him, did it, over fences? Don't think that's his game. Switching back to hurdles. I know he probably would have liked to have seen him run better on his only start at Aintree, but if you do go back and look at the horses that finished ahead of him that day last season, they're really good horses. They're better than this field, I think, on Saturday. So I'll let that slide. I hope that it's not an Aintree problem and it was just a better quality race. And coming back to hurdles in a weaker race, I think Uncle Bert goes in with a good each way chance. There's mine for the weekend. Best of luck with all your selections and enjoy the great racing.
Okay, there we are. Tips from Landafar in Lapland and Hong Kong. But let's have the best bets of the weekend from both, starting with Joel, back where it looks pretty nippy.
And my best for the weekend goes in the 1:15 at Sandown. It's Operation Manor. Have a brilliant weekend. Happy punting. And we'll see you next week.
As I'm in Hong Kong as well, I thought I might as well just chat through the 4 Group 1s that are here. They've got a race over 1.5 miles, a race over a mile, a 6 furlong sprint, and the 10 furlong Hong Kong Cup, which is worth 40 million Hong Kong dollars. A couple of names to look out for. Kai Ying Rising, he's the superstar in the sprint division out here. He might be 1 to 4, 1 to 5, something like that, but just from a viewing point of view, he's really, really exciting. He broke the record at Sha Tin last time out, and all eyes are on him and Zach Burton in the sprint. The other star story of the week is James McDonald, who's just won World's Best Jockey, riding Romantic Warrior and bidding to win the race 3 times in a row. He'll be the first horse to ever do that in the Hong Kong Cup. So they're the kind of star stories. Some names that we might recognise, or actually one that I probably am going to back that we do know more about is Luxembourg for Aidan O'Brien. He came to Hong Kong last year and finished second to Romantic Warrior in the Cup. He's now been switched to the Vars over 1.5 miles. He hasn't actually ran that well throughout this season, but I'm hoping Horses for Courses coming back to Sha Tin, not Happy Valley. He'll be in with a cracking chance in the Vars. And then one that there's quite a bit of positivity about just down on the ground here in Hong Kong would be Lazat in the Hong Kong Mile. He was unbeaten until being just beaten by Lake Forest. I don't think they were that pleased with the ride he got that day. I think they need him to settle better and he will finish much stronger. So Lazat for the French team in the mile. That's one in each race for you. You've got Luxembourg in the Vars, you've got Lazat in the mile, you've got the superstar Kai Ying Rising in the sprint, and then all eyes on Romantic Warrior to go 3 from 3 in the Hong Kong Cup.
There we go. The Chase the boys were taking their time out and sending us over their videos looking ahead to this weekend's racing. We're back to normal, hopefully for Road to Cheltenham on Monday. We reflect on all this action this week. Of course, Tingle Creek will be top of the agenda for that. And then next weekend, the Punters Guide will be focusing on the December meeting at Cheltenham. Best of luck whatever you're backing this weekend. As always, please gamble responsibly.